Hey guys, welcome to my No Mercy review. Today we're going to be going through the matches pretty quickly, as we're going to go into them more in depth on the podcast. So the Miz versus Jason Jordan in the first match. Miz the IC champion, Jason Jordan the number one contenders. Didn't really care about this match too much, as Jason Jordan was named number one contender on the Raw that just happened. And it was a good match, however it lacked a little bit of intensity, and now it's just been thrown under the carpet with the Miz facing Roman Reigns at last Raw, and then next week he's facing him for the IC championship. Well, Roman Reigns is the number one contender now, I guess. So it's kind of weird. A very wasted match, I find, because it definitely could have been used as, say, a Jeff Hardy or a Matt Hardy or someone on that caliber facing the Miz, and actually probably would have got a pretty decent match out of it. And very wasted of the Hardys, especially them not being on the card absolutely whatsoever that night. Next we had Finn Balor defeating Bray Wyatt. I gave this a 6.5 just because it was a decent match. However, it was kind of weird seeing Bray Wyatt not going over Finn Balor. I understand that Finn Balor is now the underdog. Well, he was the underdog for that match as Bray Wyatt attacked him earlier. However, it would have bbeen better if Bray Wyatt had attacked him so badly that Finn Balor couldn't have even competed that night. Kind of buried Bray Wyatt a bit, and it was a very interesting match. Beta Shield, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins then faced The Bar, as in Sheamus and Cesaro, which was a great match. I actually gave it an 8, and this was definitely my match of the night. Next we had Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins facing Sheamus and Cesaro. Now this was actually my match of the night because I gave it an 8. It was a very good match. Both teams have amazing chemistry with each other, and I find Sheamus and Cesaro are definitely the perfect heels to the Shield's face, well, the Beta Shield's faces. Cesaro having his teeth actually rammed 3 or 4 millimeters up into his gums, his two front teeth, and then continuing on with the match was absolutely amazing, and it was a gnarly bump. And so many props and much respect to Cesaro for that. A great finish. All the finishes were protected. I think there was only 4 finishes hit. That's Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and I think Sheamus hit 2 of his finishes that night. Also, the turnbuckle powerbomb was a gnarly spot. The white noise into a turnbuckle powerbomb, sick. Then Alexa Bliss actually defeated Bayley, Emma, Nia Jax, and Sasha Banks for the Women's Championship, so she retained that. I gave it a 6, mostly just because it was really a nothing match. Nothing much came out of it, nothing much was going into it. I personally think Emma should have won, as she's been built up a lot, saying she started the women's revolution and all this stuff. I really don't want to see Sasha Banks with it. Bayley's crap champion last time I saw her. Sasha Banks hasn't successfully defended the women's championship ever. She's held it like 4 or 5 times. And I don't really think Nia Jax is really ready for it. And I really feel like Emma really needs that title. Plus, an Emma and Alexa Bliss feud would be great. And then the most disappointing match of the night, and I really have a lot to say about this match, but I'll keep it quite short and go more into it onto the podcast. It's the Roman Reigns and John Cena match. Roman Reigns won this, and I'm not giving it a 4 because of this. I'm giving it a 4 because it was very disappointing. I was so hyped, all the promos were so good. The back and forth between Roman Reigns and John Cena was absolutely amazing, and all the weeks leading up to it. But for 22 and a half minutes is just crap. There was 1 or 2 good spots, aka the Super AA and the spear into the announce table. However, the latter of which was very telegraphed. I could tell exactly what was going to happen. I was watching the pay-per-view with Blake, and there were so many points where I said, okay, well now this is going to happen. And then it did. Every time that Roman Reigns was beating down John Cena and John Cena would climber up, grab onto his belt and be near his crotch area, you could tell that Cena was giving him, or you could tell Cena was telling him spots. Especially the first time I noticed it, I went, I noticed it the first time, and every other time I just noticed it. Also the match wasn't good at all. Very slow, really petered out at the end with Roman Reigns beating John Cena with a single spear and a single Superman punch. Very weird. And then we had Enzo Amore defeating Neville. Now, I really don't need to talk much about this. Even though I gave it a 5, this is the reason I'm cancelling my WWE subscription. I have no care in the world for Enzo Amore. I think he's a garbage human being. I think he's a really bad character. I hate his character. And he doesn't deserve it compared to Neville, compared to any of the other cruiserweights. Once again, I'll be going very much into depth in the podcast because I have a mini rant to do about this. But Enzo Amore is the sole reason why I have quit my WWE subscription, and will be putting my money into the PWG, into Ring of Honor, into New Japan, because that's got some really good wrestling over there. And I'm actually not going to talk about the Braun Strowman and the Brock Lesnar match, because we will be going into that in the podcast. It's a bit of a hook to watch the podcast when we air next. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. If you didn't like it, dislike it. And go watch Blake's video. Blake talks about it, and it's quite interesting seeing the two parallels that we have and the two differences that we have about this pay-per-view. We will be streaming the podcast on twitch.tv under Blake's channel, which is Noxus Fumes, which is NOXUS FUMEZ. He also streams games and stuff like that. I don't have good internet, so I don't do that. But anyways, I hope to see you guys next time and enjoy the week.